The season is almost here, but no offseason, no preseason would be complete if we didn't make the takes just a little spicier. We just turned the dial
Un poquito
up
caliente.
to 11 today on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
I was half tempted to keep my Spanish going and welcome everybody to the Locked On Bulldogs.
Hola.
But, hola, me llamo Clint y mi amigo Daniel. No, we're not going to do that. Welcome to Locked On Bulldogs. Thanks for making us your first listen of the day. We appreciate it. We appreciate you going over on YouTube, getting us over to that 7,500 mark over there, as well as downloading the audio. That really helps boys out. Get the audio. Just download it. Listen to it. It's fantastic. Get it
Go
in
to
the car ride.
Spotify. Follow along, subscribe,
and
then go to Apple Podcasts. Do the same thing. You double it up.
Look, you don't take the eclair off the top of the trash can. You don't.
No, you don't.
Dip.
But when it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, you take as much as you want. You take
you
all the crab legs that you want, and Jimbo Fisher wins a national championship.
We are talking about very hot takes. I mean, hottest of hot takes. Daniel, by the time this podcast ends, we will either have 8,000 followers on YouTube or we will dip back down to 5,000.
We will have tanked the podcast once and for all. Listen,
because
we're
there's
not
a lot
for
to be
everybody.
talked about.
This is the thing about the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. Maybe we're not your cup of tea. Maybe you're not interested in caliente takes. Maybe you want your takes to be vanilla and bland and room temperature.
That sounds gross.
But if you're a bit more of an adventurous type, if you enjoy a little danger in your life, if you like to live on the edge a little bit, this is the podcast for you.
So Daniel and I are going to exchange hot takes. Each segment, we're going to go back and forth, give a hot take for the season, culminating in the 199 at the third segment. Loyal third segment listeners, if you're not part of the 199, stay to the loyal third segment listeners. Make it all the end, and guess what? You're in the 199, and we'll tell you where to get the shirt that Daniel is wearing right now. Here comes the Death March, which, by the way, Captain Death March is on my touchdown squad this year.
You feel good about that one. That was the one you feel good about.
I feel so good about
Dejan
that
better
one.
carry that team because I think
Brock and Dejan, those are
my squad is... The takes in the third segment are not safe. They're not safe.
We might have to
beware.
When we pull down for the YouTube and it says, "Is this suitable for children?"
Beware.
No.
Not the third segment. It won't be. All right, but let's start off with hot take number one. And by the way, I think our goal should be 33%. Like 2 out of these 6 takes should hit. Like that'd be a good.
Okay.
Like, these are hot takes. You're not going to bat 1,000
Let's try to say this. We're not saying something like, if I may.
Go ahead. Give us a non-hot take.
A non-hot take. Georgia will be double-digit favorites in a majority of games they play this year. That's not a hot take.
That's the logic.
Okay, Vegas has already told us that will happen.
It's not a hot take. Brock Bowers leads the SEC in receptions. That's not a hot take.
It's not a hot take.
It's not hot
Carson
at all.
Beck has 25 touchdowns.
Not hot. It doesn't have any heat.
We're not doing
Clint.
that.
Let me give you an example of a spicier take.
We're starting off. Here we go.
Number one. The aforementioned Carson Beck. God love him. May God love him.
Yeah, he does.
And he does, and I do. Stetson Bennett's single season passing yards record.
Here we go.
4,120 something yards, I believe is what it was.
Fantastic season.
It's going to stand for 1 year. It's going to be a 1 year record. 2022, great season, Stetson. Loved it.
Cool. Good on
Wonderful. Georgia's going to have a new single-season passing yards record holder after this year, and his name's going to be Carson Beck. Carson Beck's throwing for 4,200 plus this year. Greatest season by a quarterback in Georgia football history.
History, y'all.
That's the
that's a spicy take. Now you're talking.
This is level one.
And I don't even have to. It's not the hot ones. You're not asking me questions as these spicy takes are coming out.
No.
I'm not.
We're not drinking milk either. This is
No, that's. I can guarantee you, milk is not, unless there's a White Russian involved, which
that's bleh.
It's a different thing. You're talking Murray, Stafford, Stetson, Beck.
Carson Beck, put him on top. I'm just going to say Aaron Murray has, I think, 37 and 36 are 1 and 2 for touchdown passes in the season. Aaron Murray's got both of the records in 2 consecutive years. Those records better watch out as well, because Carson Beck is out here. He's out here to throw some touchdowns, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Yards, touchdowns, wins. I was going to go with Carson Beck will be a Heisman finalist, but it wasn't spicy enough. I needed to go.
Yeah.
I needed to go single season record holder UGA.
That's a great. If Carson Beck, I mean, we have lots of domino that fall from there. But Daniel,
he's definitely a Heisman finalist if he does that. I mean,
Yes.
that's for sure.
My spicy take number 1 is in line of what you're saying. They're working in tandem.
Stick with it.
If yours is true, then mine is true. And if mine is true, then yours is true.
Oh, I like this.
By the end of this season, I will ask you, who was that OC we had last year? His name, I forget. Was his name Tim?
Teddy?
No, Teddy.
Ted?
Mike Bobo is going to go down as the greatest offensive coordinator UGA has ever seen this year. Year 1 of Mike Bobo. Year 1.
They're not ready for that take.
They ain't ready for that. Daniel,
Fans are not ready for that take. No.
Year 1 of Mike Bobo will be the greatest offensive coordinator that you have ever seen at UGA. Mark it.
To be clear, Mike Bobo is already head and shoulders the second best offensive coordinator in the history of Georgia football.
And Todd Monken, by the way, Todd Monken was brought on by the Baltimore Ravens to get them. He was the missing piece of their Super Bowl run. Good defense, good players.
He said,
great quarterback.
They said, do we have an MVP running the team? Yes, we do.
Okay.
Have we drafted weapons at the skill positions? We got a great O-line. We got a good defense. Who do we need? What do we need?
Well, we need the guy to take us over the top, and it's not Sylvester Stallone. And if you know that, you're around my age, and I applaud you.
For living that long, just for surviving in this world that long. I love that. Two offensive record-breaking seasons, and I agree they will go hand in hand, because as Carson Beck's success goes, Mike Bobo will either get the credit or he will get the blame, and vice versa.
One will be the boat, one will be the tide. I'll let you decide which one that is. But
that is correct. Yes. All right, we got more spicy takes. They only get spicier from here, and they're coming up right after this.
But first, we'll let you about eBay Motors. ebaymotors.com. Find the right parts, the right fit, the right prices with eBay's guaranteed fit, only available for U.S. customers. Because no matter what you have, we resurrected that 95 Honda. Was it 95 or was it an 03 Honda? Which one was it, Daniel? I forget at this point.
Well, we had the one, we sold it. Turned a healthy profit on it. We bought the 03.
We did.
And what we did, we put it in the My Garage on eBay Motors. And then
you do a little drop-down menu, put the year, the make,
select
the model.
a part. It either says, yes, it fits, or no, it doesn't fit, and you move on to the next part. It's easy. It's simple. Guaranteed.
And it comes straight to your door again. No more Walmart, AutoZone. Don't do that stuff. And every time you go in there, they're just typing a computer that you can do yourself.
You can just go to eBay Motors. You
wander on over to eBay. eBay Motors.
You get a better part. You get a better fit. You get a better price.
Better price right now. Right part, right fit, right price. U.S. guaranteed fit available to U.S. customers. Head over there right now to My Garage, ebaymotors.com. Get the right part that you need for your car.
All right.
Hot
Clint.
take numero dos.
Numero dos muy caliente.
There you go.
Would you like to go?
Tried.
Would you like to go, or would you like me to go?
I'm gonna go, Daniel. I'm gonna go.
Give the people what they want.
I've hinted at this before. This is going to be a record-breaking season all around for Georgia. Okay. If these come true, hold on to third segment, because this might be the best team Georgia's ever fielded if these hit.
Mm-hmm.
So let me look you square in the eye when I say this. Mykel Williams will go down as the best end edge player in UGA history starting this year. He will break sack records. He might even look, you come talk to me in 2 weeks, because I may work myself up into a ladder that says he gets his invite to New York. Say Hutchinson, Michigan. You think that cat has anything on Mykel Williams? He has nothing.
Is Aiden Hutchinson a bust in the NFL? Like, is he actually a bust at this point?
I have no idea. I legitimately don't know. I don't even know who he plays for. I know that he's probably putting on some war paint wherever he's at.
It's like that. Those gimmicks don't work. They just like when you face Georgia offensive linemen, the pass rush doesn't work. The gimmicks don't really work, because in the NFL they're all Georgia level offensive linemen.
Because you're going against Andrew Thomas, and he says, "Shut your hole."
Yeah, not today, son.
Mykel Williams is going to break sack records. He is going to lead this team in TFLs, lead this team in sacks, and he will be a one-man wrecking crew that we are talking, that scouts, that players, Clowney level hysteria will take over. Take over. Because
I need to hear you say leads the SEC in sacks.
He will lead
Harold Perkins
in sacks.
Harold Perkins step to the side.
That's cute. That's cute. It's cute because you won't be getting a lot. I mean, you'll be playing from behind in a lot of games, is my guess in the SEC. I think they're going to have some close games, LSU. He's going to lead the SEC in sacks. He might, again, 2 weeks, come check back, because I'll work myself in a ladder that says Mykel Williams gets an invite to New York.
That's a spicy take. It's a spicy
number
tuna
2
right there.
That's number 2.
All right, I'm going to take the ship in a bit of a different direction. I'm gonna go at the end of the season.
Okay.
It's going to be a marker of Georgia's success, but this is a spicy take that you might want to, while it indicates success, you might want to grab a bucket for. You might want to avail yourself to a bucket.
Okay. Do you know what a bucket is?
Mm-hmm.
We need to do a preseason get your mind right, Daniel.
Yeah, that'll be next week. We'll get that going next week.
Come back for the lexicon.
Mm-hmm. At the end of this season, Georgia will lose 3 staff members to other coaching positions. 3.
I know one.
Their names will be Glenn Schumann.
That's number 1.
Del McGee.
That's number 2. Oh.
And Todd Hartley. 3 staff members to other positions. My spicy take's not finished yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. So hold on. I just want to make sure I understand.
Mm-hmm. No, catch the people up on where we are so far.
Yeah. Historically, the could be the greatest recruiter in UGA, Del McGee.
I mean, over the last 8 years, yes.
Yes.
He's the best recruiter on this staff over the long term. Yeah.
Hartley, who is nipping at the heels to overtake
literally
him.
lit the world on fire. Who's literally changed college football and maybe the NFL forever.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And a 33-year-old defensive savant.
The best defensive coordinator Kirby Smart has had
ever
to date.
Best defensive coordinator in college football. Behind Kirby.
I just threw that right down on the ground.
Getting off the rails. They all gone. Daniel.
They're gone. And that won't be the worst part of this offseason.
Okay.
Because this offseason, I'm not saying, my take is not that he goes, but Kirby Smart's name will be seriously linked to an NFL team. And Georgia will have to go into full sweat mode for weeks at a time.
Daniel,
Steel yourself for this, Georgia fans.
I hate you.
Just brace for the coming impact.
Now, Daniel and I have the last couple of years, we've done this weird thing where the mind meld of NFL or college and football kind of mind are all just going together for he and I. And we're usually on the same take a whole bunch of times. I had said, as I was writing out these hot takes, not that he would, but that Kirby Smart, if he wins a third national championship, he would consider just peacing out.
I mean,
he would just, okay.
I don't know that I think at this point he'll go.
No, but he'll consider it.
He will interview. He'll be linked to NFL teams.
Do you know what team? Do you know? Oh gosh,
the
Patriots are going to come calling.
That's something you should just prepare yourself for. 3 coaches leave the staff, and the head man, the king, flirts with the NFL. This is the cost. This is how much it costs.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and right now I want to snap my neck because that's you're not far off.
It's not
Daniel.
great.
No.
The takes get spicier from here.
We're gonna give you our spiciest, and then we're gonna probably just rattle off a couple of strays and just see what hits.
We're just gonna fire at the wall. 199. Come back. We'll right after this.
I think many fans need to hear what you just said, because I think this is called emotional hedging, but also not emotional hedging, because there is going to be smoke on that. You need to prepare your intestinal fortitude now. Do that for those conversations on ESPN.
Do you need a bunker that you can retreat to? You probably do. You might want to start digging.
Dig
now. You might want to just begin digging. You seen those YouTube videos about that guy that dug the tunnel from his garage to his house? He dug the underground tunnel, the whole thing. Oh, it's fantastic. I'll send you a link. It's absolutely.
Please don't.
It's absolutely.
Why does he live in Alabama?
Mesmerizing to watch.
I'm sure. Daniel, the spiciest take is here. We're here.
Spicy
you just
take
hit the
number
people
3.
With Kirby Smart will flirt with the NFL. That's not the spiciest.
No, there's more. It gets spicier from here. All right, you going first, or am I going first?
You're going first on this one.
Are you ready?
Nope. I guarantee you I'm not.
Oscar Delp's going to have more catches than Brock Bowers this year. Oscar Delp will be the leading tight end receiver on this team this year. This is happening. This is going to happen this year.
I'm calling this is no longer a spicy take, because this was my take, Daniel. I'm
1,000 yards
for a second. Oscar Delp. I saw a few more highlights. Here's what I know of Brock Bowers. Very elusive. Very, very, very elusive. Okay. Oscar Delp wants to absolutely break you down psychologically, physically, emotionally, and dominate you. He's
That's
a Viking.
Correct. Yeah. Here's the other side of this take. The other thing that makes this take so legitimately possible.
Yes.
By the way, Brock Bowers still be a first-round pick if this happens.
Brock Bowers is a top 5 pick today.
Still be a first-round pick.
Top 5 pick.
And just hand in hand with that, there is literally nothing Oscar Delp can do this season. He could have 2,500 yards and 28 touchdowns going into the national championship game.
Wow, that's
And
a lot.
And guess what defensive coordinators of Ohio State are going to be talking about in the film room from the jump?
The other guy.
We've got to stop Brock Bowers. There's nothing Oscar Delp can do to attract the defense to himself. People are literally going to be running away from him to cover other people this year. This is what I fully expect the Georgia offense to look like. And Oscar Delp is the kind of athlete. He's the kind of guy. And he offers Carson Beck the kind of easy completions that I think a quarterback needs to absolutely feast on that kind of multiple 100-yard receiving games for Oscar Delp. 1,000 yards is it is in play for Oscar Delp, and he'll have more catches than Brock Bowers this year.
Okay, well, I'm going to pull out. I thought this was too spicy to have, Daniel.
Oh, you're going
because
you're going the black market spice. You're going the one they don't
Silk
even
Road.
sell in the show. You have to go into the back room. The guy at the counter just looks blankly at you for 5 seconds. And
you
then
were in Mexico
takes you into
during
the back
COVID,
room.
and you heard that if I have a positive test, I get quarantined for 2 weeks. And so you said, where's everybody else going to get their test? And how much cash do I have to have on hand? And everybody said, that guy on the corner who's just licking the bills. That guy.
By the way, welcome to the 199. We are here in the third segment. Clint is regaling you about his recent trip to Mexico.
I
can neither confirm nor deny that was
deny.
autobiographical. 199. Thanks for being here. Bonfire.com/store/the199. Get your Death March t-shirt.
Come on.
It's all there. And really appreciate all of the loyal third segment listeners.
You guys are the best. Like,
And
legitimately,
who-
I love interacting with the 199 over on YouTube and Twitter. You guys are sincerely the best. It's so much fun doing this podcast with you.
Can't
and
wait
for y'all.
for another season. Can't wait to see what kind of shenanigans we pull off this
Can't wait
year.
for. I was scheduling out my fall, Daniel, and I was making my week. I schedule out my week each day, and I have hours allocated for stuff. Got to Saturday night, live post game reaction,
the overreaction show.
Show where Daniel and I.
We will overreact to anything and everything that happened that day. If you're looking for a reaction to the Georgia football game, as I said in the first segment, this show is not for everyone.
No.
Go somewhere else. You can find a reaction.
If you want bland talk about Kroger products and
why the culture at UGA is toxic,
you know where to go.
You know where to find
go.
that. You know where to
Not
find
here.
that. If you want an overreaction, this is the show for you. All right,
Okay.
Clint, I cut you off.
I was going to say Oscar Delp
welcome
is
the
going to
199.
lead the tight end room and this team in receptions and yards. You took my spicy take. Therefore, it makes me believe it will happen. All the more. I want to say this is spiciest take because this will be the best defense Kirby Smart has ever coached at Alabama, at Georgia. Statistically, it will be better. We will hold people under 13 points per game. Under 13 points per game, this defense will hold the opponents for this coming year. We will have more turnovers. We'll have more sacks, have more chaos plays. We will have more players from this defense drafted in the NFL than we had 2 years ago drafted in the NFL. Mark it down. This will be the best defense statistically in the history of college football because 2 years ago was, and this one will be better than that one.
Yeah, I really think I thought about going this kind of direction with a take. I just don't know how extreme do you have to get before the take becomes spicy. I think Georgia's average margin of victory this year could be north of 21 points. Average. Like
including the playoffs.
I don't know about including the playoffs.
Okay, dang it. I thought I was going to get them there.
During the regular season, Like I legitimately think Georgia's going to have multiple 40-plus point wins this year. I don't think Vegas is going to be able to keep up with Georgia. I think there's going to be money to be made betting Georgia minus some ridiculous numbers this year.
Okay, here's a couple quick fire ones. Ernest Green's going to be the best offensive lineman on this team.
The best tackle?
Nope. He's playing left tackle in the SEC, and Amarius Mims has not been shifted over to play left tackle, and no one else has done so because they know he's on lockdown.
Amarius Mims just is so used to breaking people from the right side. He just doesn't need to. He's just like, why would I move over there?
Ernest Green's going to be the best offensive lineman on this team.
Wowzers. I think there's a chance that Carson Beck will throw for more touchdowns than the entire team rushes for combined. I think there's a chance that this offense this year is going to take airing it out to another level. And I think there's going to be a lot of home run touchdowns this year. Not a lot of goal line punch it in Branson Robinson time.
No. Branson Robinson going to be just carrying a clipboard for much. Aguero is going to be the second best DB on this team.
By when? By the end of the season?
By the end of the season.
Second to who? Whom?
I'm going to say Bullard, which should tell you a lot because my love of Starks is sky high.
Yikes.
Okay, one more for the road, and then let's wrap it up. Daniel.
I think that there is a reasonable possibility that there's someone we're not talking about at all right now. Like, at all.
Okay.
Like a freshman wide receiver or a freshman defensive lineman who's going to come in and light the world on fire this year for the University of Georgia. And it's interesting because every year, last year we knew about Malachi Starks, we knew about Michael Williams. Fall camp couldn't hide him. Like we knew, we were ready. The whole offseason we were ready. Aguero is the only freshman being talked about at any position on this team.
That's right.
As being a contributor at all. At all. What if Roderick Robinson just all of a sudden emerges and says, it's cute that you like all these other running backs, but I'm better than all of them.
But I'm bigger, faster, stronger than everyone.
These guys are too good for somebody to not come in and light the world on fire. I'm interested to see who that is.
Hey, join us next week, and as we gear for the season, we'll be giving you a step-by-step instruction, how to prepare yourself, how to get that intestinal fortitude
digging
going.
Now.
That's
an important first step.
Daniel's going to send me YouTube clips that I will only pretend to watch.
I'm telling you. You'll love it.
This has been Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Come back, and we'll be talking all next week. We'll see you guys then.
See ya.